everybody, and welcome to the music rating, ranking, and reviewing podcast that we like to call Music Meltdown, in which we rate, rank, and review any artist's discography, songs, musical topic, really whatever comes to mind. This episode, we're going back to the early 80s into the late 90s, technically, with synth pop, new wave band Eurythmics. I knew the Eurythmics hits. I'd listened to their album Ultimate Collection, which I'm not sure if it was physically released or if it was just like an online greatest hits thing. And I really enjoyed it. I fell in love with Annie Lennox as a vocalist, which I still am. I think that she is sensational. And I thought that there was some really interesting and unique material across there that made me want to do the deep dive. So I've done the deep dive now. Okay, that's all I can say about that. Tavi, your previous experience with the Eurythmics catalog.
Yeah, actually not very good. Pretty weak. I knew maybe like 3-4 songs going to this. Some of those I really love, and yeah, I have a feeling I might like Eurythmics more. Not
Probably.
sure, but
Probably.
It's the 80s, and that's my
Your forte.
thing, so yeah.
Yeah. I actually knew 2 of the records in full. I knew Touch and I knew In the Garden because I started the deep dive a while ago and never got past In the Garden. I also knew Sweet Dreams. I knew the first 3 basically.
Yeah.
But they were listens a couple of months ago at best. So yeah, just kick right off into this. My bottom, by a pretty wide margin, I have Peace. I think that this is by far and away their worst record. As straight up as I can put it, it sounds like garbage. I think that the late 90s production does not suit this band at all. I think Annie's vocals already sound far worse than they did at all in the previous records. And she sounds good on some of her solo work past this. So I don't know what was going on with like the vocal production, but I just don't like the sound of her voice here. And none of these songs are very good pretty much at all. The first 2 songs are okay, but everything else is just kind of adult contemporary bullshit. I don't remember the exact song, but there was one with some guitars that sounded like they were ripped from a garbage song. So they sound like garbage. I just didn't like anything about this at all. To be blunt, I quite literally felt ill after I finished it for like the next 30 minutes. I have it at 1.5 stars. I think it's a really bad album. It's not very peaceful.
Yeah, I have the same as the bottom one piece. Well, it's not the 80s, so it almost automatically goes. But yeah, I kind of agree with the production. I do miss the 80s production here, and it's quite compressed, and yeah, I think this is the album I had the worst listening experience, because I was kind of busy when I listened to this, and I kind of had to do other things also. So I think it's a mediocre album for me. It's because I do like Annie Lennox's voice even in here. It's not as maybe natural than in the 80s, but still like it. But yeah, just nothing here totally grabs me. I didn't hate this album, but it's just like there. I don't know if I would have a better listening experience, would it be, I don't know, would it be lower or higher actually, but kind of maybe keep it in like a middle of the pack, 2.5 stars. Yeah, I'm not sure will I come back to this. Maybe a song or two I could maybe listen if I had to, but yeah, Peace is definitely my bottom.
Good, good. This is where things get off the rails. I suspect that you and I are going to differ pretty heavily on this catalog. So I think that you can definitely separate it into two eras. You have the early synth pop stuff, and you have the pop rock era. To be blunt, I don't like the pop rock era much at all. So next up, I own this on vinyl. Have Be Yourself Tonight. Yeah, I know. I knew you were gonna love this record. It's fine. In all fairness, I don't think that this is a bad record. It just isn't what I want from the Eurythmics much at all. As you'll see on my list, I'm far more partial to the more experimental early synth pop sound, and this is the pop rock new wave sound. And I just don't think it works well with Lennox's soulful, powerful delivery. First four songs, while not bad, just simply float by doing nothing for me. I don't get to a song that I think really works until Conditioned Soul, and I also liked It's Alright. And while the last two songs have their moments, on the whole, just for me, there's just nothing remarkable about it. It just kind of floats by without much sort of in the way of catchy choruses, memorable production qualities. I think that this is, aside from Peace, the record that's kind of aged the weakest. Overall, I have this at 2.5 stars. I think it's fine, but I have no reason to seek it out. And I suspect I'm going to be shipping this vinyl out to you, given that reaction. So, Be Yourself Tonight, number 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna have it way higher. But I maybe you like this a lot more. I'm not sure because I guess it's in the second half. But this, so my number 7 is gonna be Savage, and sure, this is the pop rock era, as you said, but I guess this kind of has also some elements to the earlier material, and I think this sound feels like maybe sometimes like ideas of a songs than full songs, like demos with big productions still, and I don't find it super melodic for me. It's 12 songs. I would have cut maybe some of them off, and I guess this is a little more experimental than the like last two, and but it's still pop, and you feel the it's 1987, so you kind of feel the 1987ness of it. And the first song is Beethoven. I love to listen to. Not for me. It was pretty annoying actually, just too much. And I don't know, first single I would have had thought to release that. And I Got a Lover Back in Japan is I think the outro might be my least favorite part of the song. It's still decent. You Want to Break Up has like this odd rhythm to it, and I enjoy the bass a lot. The song is quite. Maybe I need something. It kind of feels repetitive, and lots of. I think they're like saying, "Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Do you want to break up?" So on, so on, so on, and I kind of like You Have Place to Chill in My Heart. It's more accessible. I like the melody enough. Also like Shame. The title track kind of it's missing some lovely melody to it maybe. It's more it has like a big scope still, and I like those huge snares like straight from 1987. I Need a Man is very overblown. It's kind of my usually that's like my alley, but I don't know, it's just kind of too much sometimes with Eurythmics. And what else? White Eyed Girl, didn't enjoy that really. The vocal style of the song was very odd. It has like this fake country or rockabilly accent to it. I don't know. But I still like the guitar work for most of these songs. And yeah, I Need You is on kind of doesn't fit the album. It's more, feels the most like a demo material. But I like the acoustic guitar still. And Brand New Day, I like some of the ideas, the build up of the song, but it's like some odd choices too, like children, I think, singing in harmony at one point. And yeah, so yeah, it's like has some good songs, but a lot of like I'm not totally into. So it's like I have it 2.5 stars, but I don't know, is it because I like it quite a bit more than Peace, so maybe I overrated Peace, but it's, yeah, I'm gonna keep it at 2.5 for Savage.
Gotcha. Yeah, I like that one a little bit more, but I agree with pretty much everything that you said. So
yeah,
you can see how this went for me. Next up, I think given how I felt about Be Yourself Tonight, kind of obvious what record I'm talking about next being Revenge. This is the exact same album, except the production is aged slightly better. And I think Miracle of Love is a better song than anything on Be Yourself Tonight. I think Annie sounds slightly better, but on the whole, just really boring and drab pop rock. It's another 2.5 stars. Literally, my review for Be Yourself Tonight is the exact same as Revenge, except I just like everything slightly more on this record. This is also one of my favorite covers. I think that's a really nice cover. Yeah. Still not very good, but I mean, I like it more than my bottom two. So Revenge, 2.5 stars.
yeah, nice. I think my next pick is gonna, I think some would rank this pretty high, and maybe you as well. It's the In the Garden is my next album. Recorded in Germany. So yeah, Eurythmics, like basically two band members, Annie and Dave, and then they bring on guest musicians from America and Germany. And I I think this kind of disappointed me because I was so into the first two songs of the album, and I don't think anything really came to the same level for me. Like English Summer, I think it's a lovely, like a synthy ballad, kind of in a way bold way to start the album, but I do like it. I knew Belinda. I love this song. I love the melody of Belinda, the rain is falling, Belinda, your love is calling. And the ending has Lennox doing this sort of vibrato thing. I don't know if it's the right term, but it's very effective song. And I guess it's more like a rocking song than some of their usual style. And maybe this whole album has a little more acoustic instruments too, maybe. And kind of like also Take Me to Your Heart. It has this hypnotic feel to the song. It transcends me into like another world almost, but I don't think it's as melodic as I would like it to be, but it still works. Yeah, there's just a kind of odd songs here and there. Caveman Head, the fast hi-hat, and Never Gonna Cry Again was a minor UK hit. Fun bass line. To me, it's just fine. I don't mind it. There's like all the young people of today with the cool atmosphere, but kind of bores me a little. And Sing Sing has this very prominent kind of a disco beat to the song. There's also like some odd noises. I think maybe some animal sounds at some point and French speaking. Yeah, so yeah, I kind of have sometimes problems with Eurythmics if they kind of like because they kind of bring the pop element, but they also kind of want to be kind of experimental, and I don't think they always kind of go. I don't know what's the term. Go like fit like a glove. And yeah, it's 3-star album for me. It's decent in the category.
I like that one a fair bit more, but I think that it's pretty clear that our lists are going to be ever so slightly different just based on earlier, but we'll get into it. This is where I have Savage. And going into this, I really wanted to like this album more. I heard their Ultimate Collection with greatest hits, and I absolutely love the song "You Place a Chill on My Heart." I still love it. It's one of my just favorite synth pop songs in general. I think lyrically it's kind of whatever, but I think just Andy's vocal performance and just that production style mixed in with the synth work is just really killer in my opinion. I think this record is primarily a cross between the pop rock sound of Revenge and the more experimental synth pop with something like Touch or Sweet Dreams, and it has pretty mixed results. The first half, though, is fairly strong to me. Songs like I've Got a Lover and Shame, but the back half just kind of sucks. I Need a Man, Wide Eyed Girl, probably being some of their worst songs. Despite that, I think the closer is excellent. Brand New Day was a great song. On the whole, this one is just such a mixed bag for me. The highest I can go is a 3, but even then, it's kind of shaky. I don't know. I really wanted to like the Eurythmics more because I think Annie Lennox is absolutely sensational. And I think that Dave Stewart has a lot of cool synth ideas. Because sometimes maybe they're either too populist for their own good or they're too pompous for their own good. It's a struggle with that. So, Savage, 3 stars.
Yeah, so I guess not totally like I had to have a star lower, not totally off. My next one is gonna be the last of the 80s albums, We Two Are One. It feels like a safer effort for them. And I guess they're kind of trying to pick some audiences back, especially in the United States. Because they I don't think Savage got a certification in the United States, and their other albums did before, maybe not the debut. So yeah, this is, but it's sorry, it has some great songs still. Not everything is perfect. Title track starting is kind of simple, safe song. Not annoying. Sometimes Eurythmics can be annoying, but this is not. I think the King and Queen of America. Really like the vocals, and it's a fun pop rock tune. I'm not exactly sure are those horns or synths. I'm kind of guessing the synths. It's playing on the track, and yeah, I don't. I'm not very good at reading lyrics. I seem to forget that stuff, but I have a feeling Eurythmics lyrics at this point aren't that great. I could be wrong.
Were they ever great lyrically?
They kind of repeat a lot of the stuff. But like,
I'll say yeah, Savage wasn't certified. I just looked it up. So.
yeah. So maybe sometimes they have good lyrical ideas, but maybe the delivery isn't sometimes the best. I don't know. But I don't usually think lyrics a lot when I listen to music, honestly. And I think Don't Ask Me Why. I think that's a great song. I first thought of Pretenders by the title. I do like that better, but I do think this is a great song. This song feels more relaxed and his vocals shine here. Angel is a more sad song. I think about her and his aunt's passing, if I recall correctly. And yeah, it's kind of, if you're not into like the sounds of like adult contemporary music, I don't know if this is gonna be your jam, but I do like it. Revival is fine. Not the biggest fan of it. Some parts are pretty like oof. Like the spoken word that comes in the end is kind of not for me. I like honestly, I might like the last songs the most. I think You Hurt Me and I Hate You. This feels like an 80s disco tune. It's so much fun. I can hear like Donna Summer singing this song. And some drumming is very top notch. And no idea why this wasn't a single. I would have definitely released it. And Sylvia, I think it's a great vocal. Interestingly, it doesn't have any drums to the song. Maybe I missed them a little, but I do like the keys. And How Long is fun. I've heard better versions of this kind of fun pop rockers before in Eurythmics, but it's fine. And When the Day Goes is, I like the drums and it's like an over the top palette, but pop palette, but I kind of like this kind of stuff. And the drums are building the song and soulful vocals to the song. And so yeah, I think it has some great songs. And maybe the second half more for me. And I I just noticed I have written 2 different scores to this album. It's kind of in the middle of 3 or 3.5 stars because I have it 3 and 3.5 in different spots. I'm gonna say it's a good album, 3.5.
Not quite there yet, but soon.
Yeah.
Let's keep talking about it. We2R1. Not a lot to say about this album. It's a decent little pop rock record. I think it has fewer holes than Savage, and it sounds better than Revenge or Be Yourself Tonight. Don't Ask Me Why, Angel and Sylvia are the clear highlights here. It's another 3 stars. It's decent, but I'm just never going to reach for it again, which is kind of how I can say about a lot of these albums. It's like there isn't a ton going on despite them trying to be all experimental and unique. At the end of the day, they're too inherently poppy in their songwriting to do that, and they aren't as musically inventive to truly experiment in the way that they want to. So I just think that they're lost in some ways. So the best case scenario, let Annie do some soul shit, get rid of Dave, and then we get the best of the world because you get Annie, who I love. I mean, Dave's cool, but I mean, you're listening to the Eurythmics for Annie. Let's be brutally honest here. So yeah, We2R1, 3 stars. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the only problem for me is because I don't know how much Dave and like they wrote the songs together, but I'm not sure who's the like main writer. Maybe it's Dave. I'm
I
not sure.
guess it's Annie given her solo works. And It
Yeah,
seemed to be
I don't
similar.
know Annie's solo work besides the Lord of the Rings song, but
It's not bad. I like what I've heard.
I'm probably gonna check out what's the first album, Diva.
I'm honestly not crazy about that one, but that's a big one. So it's probably more your Steam. It's more your Steam.
Hmm.
Alrighty.
Yeah. My number four, yeah, is gonna be Touch. It's the first album with David producing himself, the album, and yeah, I do love some of these songs. Here Comes the Rain Again, I think is the biggest highlight for me. I guess I knew it already, but I love it a lot. It's catchy, exciting. It features strings orchestrated by Michael, not sure how to say it, Kamen, not sure. Who's done a lot of like pretty mainstream film scores in the 80s and 90s. So yeah, I love the opener a lot. Regrets, it's kind of odd song, but I do like the bass of it. I think Right by Your Side probably was a single. A lot is happening in the song. I guess the vocal is pretty melodic. It kind of sounds like a sunny tropical vacation, and but it's like a lot of happening in the song, and it's kind of like when I talk about the vacation, when like going to this pool and there's lots of tourists already there, and when you arrive, but it's still your vacation. You want to enjoy it as much as you possibly could, even it's crowded. I kind of felt like that through the song, and a cool blue, very cool bass playing. I seem to love Eurythmics' bass touches. Sometimes I'm not sure is it real bass or like a synth bass. Probably both are used in the catalog, and but here I think it's a real bassist. I just wrote Dean Garcia here, so I'm guessing he's the bassist. And I don't like the nasal part where it's repeated, like how could she fall for a boy like that? I think it's very annoying, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Who's That Girl is another highlight for me. I like it. It's Cynthia relaxing, moves on along well. But I guess it's never too much for me. And I kind of like that they bring on like this scratchy sound. I don't know how they make it, but it's very cool. First cut is very danceable, especially that main synth line. Aqua probably wasn't for me. I couldn't get into it. I like the atmosphere of No Fear, No Hate, No Pain. It sounds like a more arty synth pop. Maybe Kate Bush would have been proud, not sure. And yeah, Pay the Rumor is the longest one in the end, and it's 3.5 stars. I think it's a good album. Here Comes the Rain Again is my biggest highlight. Love it. And Who's That Girl? So yeah, that is my number 4.
Well, talk about that later. Time to knock out any possible contention for agreement, even though I think we already know it wasn't going that way. Number 3, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. It's very similar to In the Garden style, but the approach is different. While In the Garden had a slight more rocking feel to it, Sweet Dreams is when they fully enter their more experimental synth phase. I think it has pros and cons. I think Lennox's voice is a lot stronger and it's more refined across this album. And generally speaking, there are more defined hooks and choruses, but I do feel like they lose a slight bit of identity. The synths end up bleeding together a bit and coming across slightly one note across this record, but it never gets too bad. My favorites are probably Love is a Stranger, I Could Give You a Mirror, Terror Track, obviously. My favorite song was Jennifer. Despite all the experimenting by them, however, I feel like it really only truly pays off on the closer, The City Never Sleeps. Overall, though, it's an enjoyable album. I kind of like it. I do think that there's a slight drop off from In the Garden to this, but I mean, it is what it is. It's a low 3.5. I like it. They have 3 good albums. Good job, Annie Lennox. So yeah, number 3, Sweet Dreams are made of this.
Yeah, I'm gonna not talk about it now. I have 3 very good albums at least for Eurythmics. So my number 3 is gonna be Revenge, 1986. Fortunately, I had a really massive, almost like a emotional reaction to the first half, and then I kind of noticed, oh, it wasn't as like how I like it to be. Well, I guess it's kind of similar, but it's not to me as great, maybe. So a bit front loaded. I guess I could argue some of these songs started to feel a bit like I've heard this before, like in previous album. But Missionary Man, I think Annie sounds very confident. I think in that song, I'm not the biggest harmonica fan, and I guess multiple songs have harmonica, but like it's still well played. Turn in My Side, I think that was a great song. And I'm not exactly sure why I got semi-emotional listening to this. It's fairly up-tempo pop rocker, but maybe it was just instant love. And When Tomorrow Comes, love the acoustic guitar in the song. It just kind of follows like a pop greatness pattern of the 80s, and love the solo by Dave. And The Last Time, I think that was great as well. So 3 in a row. So melodic, makes me feel good. Miracle Love is a ballad. You can sense a slight generic element to the song, but it's kind of lovely too, on the other hand. I guess it could have been a little shorter. Then, I don't know, is it probably would have been like a side 2 starts with Let's Go. And I think this is a little too over the top, even for me. And especially vocally, I think sometimes Annie can go a little overboard, and there's happening a lot. I do love her vocals, but yeah, it's, I don't know. Then yeah, I don't seem to remember as well the second half of this album. While I still didn't like completely dislike it, obviously, and I still have it 4 stars for this album. And Little of You has good drums, and but I do believe it's a bit front loaded for me, at least. So I have Revenge at number 3.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we disagree a little bit on that album, but it is what it is. I
Yeah.
get why you would like it more. It's more your scene, I suppose. Much like
Oh yeah.
how the first 3 are more my scene. And let's talk about 2 records that you talked about a little bit ago. Number 2 for me, I have In the Garden. And this album is really a tale of 2 halves, I think. I think that the first half of this album is really great. It's got a really great, icy, slightly experimental, really synth pop sound. Akin to something like the Human League or New Order, which I love that sound. I think that it's incredible. Like early Depeche Mode, stuff like Human League. I absolutely think it's fantastic. But with the powerhouse vocal of Annie Lennox, it's able to really propel everything in a way that those other bands never would. English Summer is a great opener. Belinda should have been a bigger hit than it may have already been. Take Me to Your Heart is very fun, and Your Time Will Come is excellent. Caveman Head was kind of cool, having a fairly noticeably distorted guitar line across it, which I don't think that they really ever did again. But the whole song isn't anything too special. Then there's a massive lull until the close of Revenge. Just going based on the first half of this record, there was a ton of potential. This could have been like 4 stars, maybe even higher. Just this story, but just the dichotomy between how much I like that first half and the second half. I'm still only at 3.5. It's a good album, but I'm probably not going to go back to it if I'm being honest. So, In the Garden, number 2, 3.5 stars.
Yeah, I can totally see why you enjoy it more, and but yeah, it's still a cool album in a way. It's not as poppy as I would prefer, but my number 2 is gonna be Sweet Dreams Are Made of This, and it's a more commercial effort, I guess, to the debut, and it showed numbers. Good for them. Love is a Stranger opens the album. A single too. I like the chorus of the song, and I guess it has like a usual synth pop instrumentation to the song. I got an HL. I like that as well. Not a lot of lyrics, aka kind of repeating same lyrics multiple times. But it has this very hypnotic feeling to the song, and I think the length of the song was perfect too, 103 minutes. I don't know. I wrap it up. I got a little Prince vibe. I don't know. Is that I don't know why, but it was a cover of like Sam and Dave song or something. I don't know, is it 50s or 60s? And I did look it up. I Could Give You a Mirror has nice vocals. It's pretty standard. Perhaps The Walk. I dig the synths in the background in the verses, and I think the sax of the song is beautiful, and really enjoyed the song. The title track, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This, the biggest of them all. It has like I think over billion streams in Spotify, so it has really hit big nowadays even. It's very melodic, catchy, gets stuck in your head. But still, there's some elements and switch ups that I kind of forget, because when I think of the song, I just think of the chorus the most. And yeah, do really enjoy it. I also enjoyed Jennifer a lot. I guess it depends on your mood, how much will you enjoy the song. Pretty different. I find it very hypnotic as well. Especially, I think I closed my eyes when I listened to this, and the soundscape is quite big also. The song, and not sure did you mention this song, but I really enjoy This Is the House, which is very kind of danceable 80s big song, pop song. Not sure again, is that a real bass or synth bass, but I think it's awesome. Very loud in the mix, and I guess I headbanged to this song as much as I could to a pop song. Somebody told me is a little maybe. I enjoyed more like 5, 6, 7, 8 so much. It's kind of doesn't get to the same level for me. Then the last song is This City Never Sleeps. Also kind of like this atmospheric hypnotic tune. I like the title. It sounds like a movie title. This City Never Sleeps. I'm gonna give it a 4 stars. It's actually pretty close to getting to 4.5, because I do really enjoy this album, and but I'm gonna give it 4 stars. But I did put at least half of these songs to my playlist, so I can listen to those songs more.
And cool. Number 1 for me, I have Touch. By far their best record, in my opinion. I don't even think it's close. Touch is a pretty strong step forward from Sweet Dreams, experimenting a bit more in the studio, while still adding in stronger hooks and letting Annie shine even more across this one. She really is the star of the show here, and with the almost new order Human League synth pop underneath, I can't get enough of it. As I said on In the Garden, I'm very partial to this early icy synth pop sound, and that's just what this album is. Herbitrons are, of course, the amazing Here Comes the Rain Again, Right by Your Side, the first cut, and I really loved Paint a Rumor. The sound here is great. I just don't think that the songs are. I think that there's plenty of really good songs here and well-written songs, but the issue is they aren't great writers at the end of the day. And if you aren't great writers, the sound of your record can only elevate you so far. And that's kind of how I'm thinking here. I still think that this album's really good, and I would happily listen to it. I have it at 4 stars. I was fairly let down doing this. I knew I was going to be let down doing this, and even still, I was pretty let down doing this. But yeah, number 1 for me, Touch by the Eurythmics. So a really good album, 4 stars. My runaway. Now let's hear you talk about this sucker right here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give you my address later. Yeah, Be Yourself Tonight is my number 1. And I also think it's my favorite album cover of theirs. I like the look of it. It just sounded so, to me, fresh when I started the album. Kind of different style than the first 3. I guess the second and third are kind of similar, and the first is a little different. And they go away a little from the synth pop stuff and goes straight into like a pop R&B 80s feel. And I think the album is just so much fun. And Would I Lie to You? Just wow, I love it. Yay. And the drummer is really pounding the snare a lot of fun, so lively. Has sax, electric guitar, and Nathan East on bass. I love that guy. And There Must Be an Angel, also love it. To repeat the Must Be Talk to an Angel quite a few times, and I just keep wanting more. And I guess this album has a lot of like guest musicians and very famous people too. Like this song has Stevie Wonder playing harmonica, and I Love You Like a Ball and Chain is the next song. It's also catchy, like pretty much most of these songs. And I don't seem to remember the ending, but I just wrote that it was pretty pointless. But other than that, it was good work. Then there's the duet with Aretha Franklin, the mighty Aretha Franklin. And it was just a vocal overload. Love it. Heartbreakers also there playing, and Mike Campbell plays an excellent guitar solo song. Conditioned Soul also has a lovely guitar solo. I didn't wrote who, maybe it was Dave. Adrian, So Joyous, It Moves, makes me move to the music. I think Elvis Costello in the song is a lovely touch, singing the harmony with Annie. And yeah, love it too. I just seem to love these songs. Here Comes That Sinking Feeling is just great. Love listening to Annie, and Better to Have Lost the Love. The last song has a long title. I didn't even say all of it, and I just love the urgency of the song and the rhythm section. So yeah, I had so much fun with this album, and obviously I didn't like touch as much as you did. So maybe it just kind of brought this even higher. I don't know, but like I think this was a perfect place for this kind of fun 80s pop R&B, I don't know, album. And yeah, this is kind of like my kind of stuff. 1985. So yeah, I have 4.5 stars for this album, and it's kind of great album. My number one. Adrian's number 8, and
Hey, it's only
I've
7. This is my
oh,
dead
it was
last.
7. What was number 8?
Fucking peace, God, ew.
Oh,
Make the album.
I
See, I already forgot
sorry.
about it.
I thought we had 9 albums, but yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I knew Peace was last.
TLM had 9 because they included the soundtrack thing.
Yeah.
It's lucky for me. I don't have to do that because I'm lazy. But anyways, yeah, that was the Eurythmics. They're fine. I wanted to like them a lot more than I did because going into this, I thought Touch, like I thought they had 4.5 potential. I really liked it the first go around. And I thought, okay, well, maybe if they do some more stuff like that, this could be like a really underrated, really cool group. No, they totally pivot after that album, and it is just a chore for me after that. It's a shame because I really do think Annie Lennox is a brilliant vocalist. And despite how rude I was to him, I think that Dave Stewart has some really cool synth parts. He's an interesting addition to the group. I just don't think that things ever fully came together for them like it should have, if that makes sense. Been a waste of potential for me, but if you like that pop rock sound in the 80s, they certainly did it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I did enjoy this ranking. Yeah, I seem to sometimes have problems with their trying to be experimental sometimes, but like obviously it's not that experimental, but I just didn't find it that captivating as well. Although sometimes they did, and yeah, but yeah, I do like the pop rock sound, and I think pretty much I didn't really have production issues a lot of the times, except in Peace. Peace was the worst offender. But yeah, and Annie Lennox's voice is just lovely. Yeah.
I don't like this band very much, but Annie Lennox places very high on my list of favorite singers. Very much like your boy Steve Perry does for me. So.
Oh.
That being said, though, that was the Eurythmics discussion. Ooh. I hope that you enjoyed this more than I enjoyed listening. That being said, I really hope that you all enjoyed and you had a great one.